Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Human Empowerment Experience. I am here with Sensei David Hills, and we are doing,
and Miss Coach Kendra McLaughlin.
That's me. Good morning, everybody. We're coming to you live from California farm, and I want to talk to you this morning about comparing yourself to others. And it's something that I've had to work on over the years. It's something that we are kind of conditioned to do, comparing ourselves to others. But what happens when you start doing that is you kill your own dreams. You kill your creativity. You know, we are all unique beings. We're all different. You will never be like somebody differently. We're all here for a different purpose, or maybe the same type of purpose, but comparing yourself to another person really hurts your own creativity. One of the things that I learned from Liam O'Callaghan, and this really resonates with me, is when I start thinking of, oh, well, somebody's doing this and I should be up to this level and I should be doing this, I think of what he told me, and he told me, stay in your own lane. So it's like a driver, you know, when you start looking over to the right-hand lane or the left-hand lane, and you start steering over that way because you want to be like somebody else, or you think you should be in a certain place like that other person. Get back over in your lane, pay attention to what you're doing, and focus on what you're doing. And that will get you to where you need to be and where you bring yourself to others, whether it be in business, whether it be in a relationship, whether it would be how you look or how you dress, or you know, any of those things. Take an inventory of it, because it will keep you from your goal if you continue to do that. So today today's Wednesday, we're on day 3 of our special program about how to get up off the ground. And so what are we going to be learning today about that, David?
Well, we're just going to be expanding upon what we've already done in reverse order. And when it comes to this, there's the big issue that people have is falling. And why this training is really important, because if you do it correctly, if you learn this stuff and practice it, you will actually be able to mitigate damage to your body when you fall, when and if you fall onto the ground, or in the case of martial arts, get thrown down onto the ground. And there's just a few simple rules to go by that will save you. It'll save your butt. It'll also save your head. And then getting back up off the ground is essentially using the same process, just in reverse. And this is true of most of the steps of this. So what we're going to work on today is getting up off the ground using our side. Today we're going to work on falling backwards, right? And speaking of falling, we just dropped a phone. And then tomorrow we're going to be working falling forward. What day is today?
Today's Wednesday.
Today is Wednesday, so we'll have an extra day to review and do some of the advanced stuff. So I'm going to adjust the camera here a little bit. And if you want, you can use it. There you go. All right, so here's what we're going to do. You have to remember that right now, standing up, I am quite a ways from the ground. If I was to just fall and land on my head or my face, it would be catastrophic. The same is true if you were to fall backwards and land on the back of your head or land on your butt. These are areas where you're going to very significantly damage your body. If you want to get down onto the ground, if I'm going to lie down onto the ground, I need to put one or the other end of my spine on the ground. So for instance, if I was to fall backwards, I would want to, if possible, touch my tailbone to the ground and roll back, not hitting the back of my head. Same is true if I was to fall forward. I would want to put the top of my spine on the ground and then roll out. Now, when it comes to falling backwards, we're going to start from here, from all the way onto the ground. I'm going to lie all the way back. So First things first, your head has to be off the ground. Never let your hands not out perpendicular to my body and not parallel to my body, halfway, 45 degrees. And here's what I want you to do. Pick your hands up like so, both palms away, slap the ground. One more time, slap the ground. Check to see that you're not too close to your body or too far out, that you're halfway. Now, pick your hands up, and you're going to go bounce right off the ground, bring it back up. You're going to strike the ground from your pinky all the way down your forearm, all the way down your upper arm on both arms. Now, we're going to make it a little more challenging. We're going to pick ourselves up to here. Now, I put my hands in place. I'm going to roll back and come back. This is the exercise.
So this may seem really interesting to you, and I just want to say a shout out to Marcus Hamby, who's on.
Marcus Hamby.
This is something, Marcus, that you can do as well. And these are the beginnings of being able to get up on your own from a fallen or a seated position on the floor. But what he's doing is he's training his brain in these motions to be able to automatically do this if in fact you fall.
That's right.
Or if you want to get up on your own. So it may seem silly, you may be like, what the heck is that? But do it. These are the steps that you need to take, that your brain needs to take in order to make it function automatically when it comes time to use it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now what we're going to do here, we're going to get up off the ground so that we can press. The other leg is straight. Hand behind you, hand on your knee. You're going to pick yourself up and slide that knee through. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take and start all the way from here. So now here with my butt 6 inches off the ground. So here's what it looks like. I put my hands out, I keep my chin tucked, I roll back, and safely break my fall. I'm curl my back, set my tailbone down, and slap. Now I can come to my side, support my knee, pick myself up, slide the knee through. 2 hands, and stand. Okay, so we've done it with our butt already on the ground. We've done it with our butt 6 inches off the ground. Now we're going to do it from standing, all the way from here. Now, go backwards. So essentially, it's the exact same thing. But, like I said, if I fall from here, boom, I'm going to hurt myself. So if I know I'm going to fall, if I feel that I'm off balance and I have to break my fall, the first thing I want to do is get my tailbone to the ground as quickly as possible. So the fall looks like this. Now, here's the problem. If you're falling backwards, this is what it's going to usually look like. Ah! You see people, somebody will push you or you'll step backwards and trip, and then you're going like this because your balance is past your center and you're trying to get your feet back so that you can get your balance back. But if you're already falling and you don't know what's behind you, your best bet is to, as quickly as possible, stop falling by going ahead and committing to the fall. And what I mean by that is this. Somebody pushes me. Instead of stepping back, as fast as I can, I want to put my feet together. So I'm going, right? Put my feet together. Guess what I do next? Butt to the ground and down. So in other words, Feet together. So what I tell people do is I say step, step, feet together, butt down, and fall. Now, I'm being real careful because I've got couches behind me. I'm not too worried because they're cushions. But make sure you have plenty of space if you're going to practice this. Make sure you have a soft enough surface to practice on. If you accidentally fall and hit the back of your head, knock yourself out, there'll be someone there to help you.
The other thing too is that we purchased some matting that piece together.
Yeah, puzzle mats.
So for those of you that want to practice this, and this is good for your Marcus. Just to let you know. So if she accidentally falls, then she knows her body will know to break the fall. But if you might want to invest in some matting that pieces together like we have.
Dick's Sporting Goods has it.
Yeah, and you can we pick it up and put it down underneath the matting every day, but you can also make it space in your home where you can keep out to be able to practice this stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now, again, this stuff you have to take it slow. You have to take it slow. Practice each piece until you're very comfortable before moving to the next piece. So what we're going to do now is we're going to work on getting back up. And we've looked at some of the steps, but today we're going to get back up with a little bit of momentum. So we did this. We were lying on our back. And I'm going to bring the other leg up in the air. And we're going to throw it down on the ground. I'm going to prop myself up, turn so you can see, onto this elbow. So it looks like this. And what I do often is I tell people, clasp your hands together. This is one that's really good for elderly folks that are trying to get out of bed, right? Not just get up and not just get up off the ground, but get out of bed. I'm lying on my back, laying in bed. It's time to get up. I'm going to bring one leg up. I'm going to pick up my head, clasp my hands together with my elbow on the ground. Pick this leg up and throw it, tighten my stomach. And look what it does. It picks up my upper body. So what I do is I can think of throwing that leg off the side of the bed. And you come up to a seated position on the side of your bed. Just like going back down. Put the hand down, lower the elbow, swing the legs over, lower your shoulder down. It's the same thing in reverse. Use some momentum to make it happen. That makes sense?
So just want to tell you that Jessica Wooding. Hello, Jessica. Jessica says, hey, David, I love the bald head. Thank you for your education. You've always been so generous with your knowledge.
Okay. So, again, next week, or rather tomorrow, we're going to do how to fall forward, right? This one is a little trickier. This is a little hairier. You definitely want a mat for this one, at least for the advanced pieces of it. But, yeah. So let's. What we did yesterday was this. We learned how to, from here, stick this arm through. And I always tell the kids, you want to make a circle here because you can roll on a circle really well. If you make a square or a rectangle, it's not going to roll very well. Triangles don't roll. Squares don't roll. You want a circle. So you take that half circle, this side, stick it way through until your shoulder hits the ground. Roll across. Same thing coming back up. Right? Now, here's the really important part. You want to roll, and then halfway, slap with this arm. It's just like what we did today. We broke our fall here. If you're falling to the side, you have to slap. It's like so. Now, these pieces, they look easy, but they're not. You have to practice them. Practice, practice, practice. My teacher used to say something really interesting. People practice this wrong 10,000 times, and you're still going to do it wrong. And when you go to do it when you need it, it's not going to be correct. If you want something to be perfect, you must practice it perfectly. Perfect practice makes perfect. You don't see somebody sit down at a piano and just randomly hit the keys until they can play Mozart. No. They practice it slowly, perfectly, over and over again until they can do it quickly and perfectly. That's what you need, perfect practice. So there it is, today's lesson.
And you can rewatch any of these.
How to perfectly, but
you can rewatch any of these episodes that David has done. Facebook page, or you can go to his YouTube channel, to be able to watch those. I'm gonna bring the camera.
once we finish these 5 videos, we'll put them into a playlist so that you can watch them. You definitely want to start from the beginning. Don't start at the falling on your face from standing up.
We are, thank you so much for joining us today. Zach was with us today, Marcus, Jessica.
Which Zach?
And Zach, Ladd.
All right, I'm not sure I know Zach Ladd, but hey, Zach.
But we are on our way today to
Humboldt
County, California. So we'll see how the Wi-Fi is for tomorrow morning, but we will check in with you when we can, and try to get tomorrow's lesson up and running tomorrow morning. But thank you so much for joining us. We are sending you love, joy, peace, and happiness to all of those in the world who need it today, and particularly some healing energies for all of those who are suffering today, who need it, and that we have some peace in our world today.
Thank you so much for joining us, buddy.